Okay, we're recording now. So today I'm going to do a trip. Quick trip. Actually, it's not really that quick. I'm going to drive an hour. I'm going to go all the way up to Greeley, and I'm going to go to the Greeley Mall. The reason I'm going to the Greeley Mall is I've heard some things about it. Like, for instance, I went to elementary school in Greeley. I've heard that it looks exactly the same as when I was a little kid in like elementary school. I've also heard that it is only 50 to 70% like empty. I've heard that it is filled with weird stores that are all like off-brand stores, and the patrons are mostly Latinos. I've heard that. I've heard it's also been redeveloped and it's all beautiful and nice. So I'm curious what it is. I looked up some info. It's owned by a big-ass company that like owns a bunch of malls out of New York City or something, which is really shocking because I know, for instance, the Greeley Mall is old. It's one of those ones that has like a movie theater and like a Sears and something else on the other end, and then like just one bank of stores. It doesn't have like the big branches. It doesn't have an upstairs or a downstairs. It's a small place. So it's kind of shocking that that is owned. But anyways, yeah, we're going to go up to the Greeley Mall. We're going to drive an hour there. I'm going to check it out. Hopefully it's worth its while. And I might even buy some from there. Who knows? Alrighty. So let's get going.
So I stopped off real quick to show a little bit of what's in the parking lot. This looks like it used to be a cigarette stand of some kind. And then this looks maybe like it used to be, I would guess, a Pep Boys, AutoZone, something like that. As you see, the lights are all flashing, giant hole in the ceiling. It definitely had that kind of motor oil kind of smell around the outside of it, like especially at the door. Couldn't really see in. The windows are just dirty as heck. And like I said, these are all outside in the parking lot around the Greeley Mall. So, you know, it kind of is foretelling on what I'm expecting the mall to be like. And then as you walk down this way, this building up here, there was, well, multiple things. And there was actually other businesses. I thought they were open, but actually I don't think they are. One was like a hydroponics shop, and then the other one was something else. It was like a gym, and it had a big sign that said "We've closed." This looked like it maybe at one time was a big nightclub, and this right here, not the nightclub. I don't know what the heck this was. Probably a dentist's office or something weird like that. This other place that you can't really see into with this front porch kind of part. I'm guessing this was probably a nightclub or something. If somebody knows what this was, leave a comment. Let me know. I'm curious what it was. I'm betting nightclub or big sports bar. But as you can see, none of this seems to have been up and running in a long time. So anyways, we're going to head into the mall now. So I must say, first impression of the mall, it's lit up and it's nice. It's well maintained. It's very clean inside. It looks pretty nice. I'm filming these with my iView camera glasses. That way I don't look like a weirdo walking around with a GoPro just inside a mall for some reason. I'm heading towards the food court because I was kind of hungry, so I figured get something to eat. And here's a Claire's right here. Now here's the first item of the food court. You'll see kind of right there to the right is a Spanish ice cream shop. And then JCPenney is kind of down this little wing here. And they got a lot of these odd things like this. One of those wishing wells that you drop a coin into. There was a couple stores down there and they were all closed, more or less, other than the JCPenney. And then there's this place right here. You'll see the Mexico place. And that's what it says on the sign. It says made in Mexico. It's all piñatas and like Mexican candy, and that used to be a Kay's Jewelers, I believe, and you'll see the wall over here where it definitely says, or used to say, Kay's Jeweler. Right there it is. So I would definitely say the mall's been updated at least once, maybe. It is very bright in here, I'll give him that. There's a map of the mall, though. As you see, it's not a big mall at all. It's rather small. And Greeley's not a big town to begin with. There's a large meat packing industry and a college there, and that's really about it. So there's the food court. The food court consists of Bob's Pizza and Jalapeno Express. That right there was the food court. And then there's the Spanish ice cream shop and the Mexican candy store. And that was really it. That was the food court. I was kind of shocked at that. And as you see, there's a lot of these kind of kiosks in the middle, and then some off-brand stores. Claire's and Zoomies and stuff are kind of regular ones. But then there's this place right here that sells boots and what I'm guessing are probably quinceañera dresses and so forth. Wedding dresses even, maybe. Usually don't see those in a mall. Nor do you see the old-time photos. When was the last time you saw Spencer's, which was right there? This place was called Hip Hop 23rd. And then there's Brooklyn, which had a bunch of discount clothes. I've never seen a lot of these shops. So as you can see, this mall is definitely not a dead mall. There's people in here. Dying, it could possibly be a dying mall. It kind of reminds me more of a really nice flea market. As you see, like, this place was called Sports Access, and they sold a bunch of just kind of odd stuff. It wasn't really what you would expect a sports store, you know, to have Marilyn Monroe blankets and Scarface flags and stuff like that. Even though if this mall did die, I'm sure that Bath and Body Works would still stay. They seem to be in every dead mall. But this part of the mall actually didn't have a lot of closed up stores or anything. This part of the mall seemed to be doing pretty good. Here's a massage place, and they were actually doing a chair massage, so I didn't want to like stare right at them. But there's a massage place here in the mall. There's a GameStop right there. Now this is towards Sears. And I'm going to go into Sears because Sears kind of blew me away. It looked like it did in 1985, and you'll see it once we walk in. That was kind of a odd thing to walk into, for sure. And so we'll walk into Sears, but see, this store's closed here, and there's some just weird stuff piled up in it. And this was actually kind of a common thing on a lot of these closed up ones. I look into a bunch of them. Some of them have video game and arcade stuff, and some of them just have like random stuff. This is like a learning center of some kind. So I'm not really sure what that is. And it's like a Saturday, so it's not open. But yeah, here's the Sears. So let's go into Sears. And let me ask you, leave a comment below, but if you want. But this Sears does not look like it has changed at all since like 1985. It is just eerily bland and kind of plain, and there's just nothing. I couldn't picture shopping in here anymore. Now this place right here, the outside looks exactly the same as it did long ago, and the only reason I know it for sure was this was a pet store, and I purchased a sugar glider at this pet store because the guy had gotten the sugar glider and he didn't want it, and he told me $20 and he gave me a fish tank and a sugar glider and some like bedding and some like rabbit food, which of course the sugar glider didn't really like. And that's what I had. I came home from the Greeley Mall once about 20 years ago with a sugar glider. So as you see, the GameStop's up and running and it's doing well. Now over here we're getting to the pretzel stand and the boba tea place. But as you see, this part of the mall is really nice. It's all lit up. They got that big center area there. I've heard that they do a lot of like things to get people to come to the mall, which it's got to actually be kind of nice during the wintertime. So we're going to walk over here. But as you see, the mall's nice and clean. It's well maintained. But there is a lot of these things, like this deluxe photo studio deluxe, and like the gumball machines and stuff, that kind of odd mall stuff that they just put in the middle of the mall to have something, it seems like a lot of the time. At this end, I'm not sure what this big store used to be, but it's now a giant gym, and so I'm going to walk up to it. And as you see, it's called Team Tom Gym. I'm not sure who Tom is. If you know who Team Tom is, leave a message. But it definitely used to be. It probably was like a Dillard's or something like that. And then this is the city of Greeley's youth initiative something. I don't know what they do with this, but it wasn't open on the weekend for sure. But as you see, it's kind of an odd thing. And then this is closed, and we're starting to move kind of to the closed stuff. As you see, it's just empty inside there. And then here's a place that sells scrubs, which isn't really a thing that you usually see in malls. And this used to be what I'm guessing is a jewelry store, like Zales or something like that, probably. Nope, it was a Cost Cutters. And then here's the t-shirt shop. And this t-shirt shop, I only walked in here because of some of the funny t-shirts. I did not purchase anything at the mall during my trip, but if I was going to, I would have purchased the t-shirt. And you'll see the one that I find pretty funny. So here we are. Here's the shirt. Now, is this not classy or what? It says, "I'm not gay, but 20 bucks is 20 bucks." And I found that kind of a funny shirt, that it's just sitting there at the front of the store. But it definitely wasn't like a name brand t-shirt shop. And as you see, there's a lot of stuff like that in this mall. A lot of video games laying around. And you'll see kind of where the video games come from here in a second. There was this place, it seemed pretty popular, the barber shop. So here was this. This used to be, I can't tell, but I know I've seen that sign a million times. But yeah, this is just open. I was tempted to just walk in there, but there was a guy kind of pushing like a thing, but it was just full of old arcade machines and stuff like that. And as a kid's ride, this one's kind of cool. I was taking that look at that. But then they got massage chairs sitting here that you can sit in. Now, I found this place pretty curious. They're setting up or they're tearing it down. But it used to be a Hallmark store. The Hallmark Gold Crowns, which are definitely all going out of business. And there was workers in here, or I would have kind of walked in here. But I can't tell if they're setting up a giant arcade, and maybe that's what that other Zoomies or whatever that place was that had the other stuff sitting in it. Maybe it was sitting there to be moved into this place. Right through here is a laser tag thing. And if you look, there's a lot of video games and stuff, but I can't tell if they were actually tearing it apart or if they were installing it. I'm guessing installing it, because I'm betting the Hallmark Gold Crown store stayed open for a little while. Or they would have at least did something to the sign if they were opening an arcade in there. I mean, of course, that's common sense, but I'm not really sure. This was just two video game things sitting in an empty storefront here. I don't picture there being two video game stores in there. And those were like giant light fixtures. Now, this At Home, this place was pretty popular. It definitely had a decent amount of people in it. It was crazy noisy inside this place, though. They had like big giant fans running and everything. That's what that kind of water sound in the background is. And I've never been in one of these stores. And if I ever went into this store, especially if I went in there with my wife, I would probably never get out of this store. You'll see it's just rows and rows of pillows and things like that. I'd be in there looking all day at pillow patterns and stools and chairs and rugs. But, I mean, definitely if you need anything for your home, it looks like they definitely have it. I kind of wish I knew where one of these stores were near me, and I would go to it for sure. But as you see, this store is brand new. This definitely seems to have taken over. Possibly, you know, let's see here, J.C. Penney was still there and Sears was still there. So who knows what this was? You know, I don't know what type of store this would have been. They've definitely changed even the decor but they've made this one big and nice. And so I'm going to walk out of this place real quick and check out the rest of the mall. But we're almost done with the mall. This was basically the third anchor. There's the Sears, the J.C. Penney. In one of the anchor stores is that Team Tom gym, and then there's At Home here. So those were the things that are, you know, all attached. So this mall did have a lot of natural light, which I do like. I'll give them that. They had these big light fixtures, but it's just a metal ceiling. So now here's one place. It's the year-round playground. And it was just this big place, and it's filled with bouncy castles and everything. This gate's pulled, but it's actually open. I could see people in there. So the other side, I'm pretty sure, was open. And then they converted this whatever corner store that used to be here into this, like, mini arcade, kind of, with more or less random stuff, because it's, like, ones that you would get tickets from, but there's nothing to exchange tickets, and claw machines and so forth. And then, as you see, there's just more stuff. Family Christian store was closed. And let's see here, there's those little carts that you can rent. This is the big kids playground, indoor playground, which I could see being popular with like smaller children, especially when it's hot outside. Now here's the entrance to the mall that doesn't go through one of the stores, and I love this entrance. It's very, very old and kind of funny looking. As you see, they got these rugs all sitting here, and then it's this double glass kind of room, little area, entryway. I mean, I guess that's nice during the winter, but it's pretty tight and small in there, it seems like. And then these signs are just old. I mean, these definitely remind me of when I was a kid. Somebody's gone by and planted some flowers, though, and they're pretty. So I'll give them that. They've done stuff to it. But look at these signs. They are, talk about some old design and old look. The one on the left-hand side was in some pretty poor shape. But, and as you see, there's even a crack in that window right there. But yeah, this is the Greeley Mall. I would definitely say it's not dead. It is still alive. It is possibly a dying mall, and it will not shock me one day if it closes, but they've kept a good job with it.